other side of that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I call the trustees meeting of August 12th to order. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Mr. McGlynn?
Here. Let's see who's here today. Things are happening like crazy around here. It's the end of the summertime. Everyone's taking vacations. Okay, may I introduce our Director of the Senior Center, Jim Henshaw. Our Superintendent of the Parks has some family dealings that he couldn't be here. Our Chief of our Fire Chief, Andy Frost. Our Police Chief, Bob Gavalier. Our Zoning Inspector, Darren Corelli. And our Township Administrator and Road Superintendent. And you talk about a strange weekend. First, his daughter got married in Columbus, and there was a giant-sized thing in Columbus, and now he had to go back for a nephew dying. And so it's a sad thing. To my right is Trustee Jim Davis. To my left is Trustee Doug McGlynn. To my far left is our lovely lady, Lori Wolf, our Fiscal Officer. May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 29th?
So, second.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Now we'll stop and do another one of these wonderful things. Our police department is getting up where it should be. We have a young man who's going to join us, Police Officer Albert Martinez Gonzalez, and he'll come. Would you please come up and be sworn in by our Fiscal Officer, and then we'll talk about you.
I state your name.
I, Albert Martinez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of Patrol Officer of the Austintown Township
of Patrol Officer of Austintown Township
and of Austintown Township Police District
and of Austintown Township Police District
in Austintown Township,
in Austintown Township,
Mahoney County,
Illinois County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my continuance in office.
during my continuance in office.
I state your name.
I, Albert Martinez Gonzalez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of Constable
and will faithfully discharge the duties of Constable
of the Austintown Township
of the Austintown Township
and of Austintown Township Police District
and of Austintown Township Police District
in Austintown Township,
in Austintown Township,
Mahoney County,
Illinois County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my continuance in office.
during my continuance in office.
Chief, tell us about our new recruit here.
Howard comes to us from Youngstown Police Department. We served YPD has is fluent in Spanish. He's CIT trained, certified to deal with the men in the field. He's also has a lot of other certifications from Youngstown. He's well equipped to operate our CAD and record system. They use a system that we're buying. So we really kind of plug and play with him here. He's the second one from Youngstown we're taking. Chief Lee said, remind you three not to drive in Youngstown for the next couple months. He also tells
Wait 1 second. Remember, Chief Lee was my student. He was at, he graduated from high school. His daughter was mine. And he would say, you can tell the difference in age.
He also tells me out of the two officers we hired from Youngstown, he's better than.
We were trying to figure out who was the first choice, but we couldn't figure it out.
Now we know.
Honestly, all joking aside, you know, both of them, excellent officers, they're trained, plug and play, ready to go. I want to thank Youngstown for, you know, I joke around with Chief Lees a lot, but I looked at their application and training and what they received down there, excellent training, that they do a good job training their officers and keeping them up on the current laws and stuff. So, again, excellent officer, sure like.
Hey, gentlemen?
No, I will first tell you that one of the things that I've always mentioned to the chief that I thought was important, I always asked him, I'm like, can't you find us a Spanish-speaking officer? And the simple fact of the matter is people don't understand how important that is. I worked in Monmouth County Jail for 3.5 years, and there were just points in time where you were just at a complete loss because you didn't have someone, unless you found a translator, and it was trying to, you just don't realize how difficult it is until you get in that situation. So I had always mentioned to the chief, can't you find someone that speaks Spanish? And, you know, in the day and age in which we live, I think that's a huge asset along with all the other qualifications that you have. So first of all, thank you, Chief, for finally finding us one. I've only been asking for 10 years. But thank you for finding us one. We're glad to have you here. And like I said, when you get a recommendation from Chief Lees, you know you're getting something good. So we're glad to have you, and I guess I'll stay out of Youngstown for the next one.
I would agree, Jim. It's we better stay out of Youngstown for a while. Even though I had Stephanie as daughter, it still won't no problem. But congratulations, it's great to have you on.
Thank you.
The nice thing is to get our department up to where it needs to be staff-wise, you know, as well. And I know you guys are very well trained, and Chief Lees definitely does not like. I saw him in the barber shop. It's not like Chief Kelly. They're all have friends with him or not, but probably not. Yes, I go to the barber shop.
That was going to be my next question. How long does that take?
Oh, 5 seconds. It's a twofer. You know, but congratulations, we're glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Have you on.
You want to say anything?
That's good.
Okay. You know, I am so proud of our last two inductees into our police department. The qualifications of you gentlemen is just outstanding. It's phenomenal. You know, it's not close. Anyone else looking for the job doesn't stand near the two of you. We're very proud of our police department, extremely proud. We have different things than you'll find that we're in Youngstown. Some unique, some not so unique. People think that a township has a very easy day. They don't have a truck stop. They don't have a few of the other things that we have around here. And you guys are so good. But I'm going to say the same thing. You know, you're going to have to get more muscles. I'm sorry. I told your colleague here the same thing. And, oh my God. You know, I mean, I can't get over you guys. How do you move? I don't understand. But Albert, thank you for being with us. We're looking forward to your service, and we're sure it's going to be outstanding. Would you like to introduce some of your family members?
Absolutely. Here's my dad, Jose, my mom, Estrella, and then my girlfriend, Amber Clean.
Oh, that's great. We're going to have 5 or 6 more kids. I don't want to. But Albert, thank you so very much.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I just do want to make mention of Chief Roman Nexus. I, as well, would like to mention this, is that thank you to the people that conduct the background investigations. It's no easy task. You know, Brian Kloss, our captain, Valerie Delman, our sergeants. You see the gentleman over there standing at Lieutenant. And of course, Sergeant Trilla. Phenomenal jobs they do. I know it's time consuming. We got to have them do a lot of work, and we obviously reap the benefits of their hard work in finding the candidates that we do. So thank you guys for your efforts and all you do to help us get these well-rounded officers. Really appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Do we have another uniform big enough?
I actually told them when we were introduced back there, guys, I said, you know, they do sell that suit in a bigger size. Red Diamond sells uniform shirts in larger than a medium.
Now, once again, I thank you so very much, and this is a normal procedure for us. We take a 2-minute delay. You may stay if you want to, but frankly, go and enjoy yourself, celebration of this day. Thank you, and we'll be looking forward to you week by week.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
We'll call the meeting back to order. It is unfortunate, the road department and the cemetery report can't be made because of, unfortunately, of death in the family. With Mike not being here, Ray Penny was supposed to be here, but God rest his soul, Ray Penny's father passed away this last week. So we feel very sorry for that, and unfortunately no one's going to be here today. Let's go to the police department. Anything else going on with the police department?
Let's add one more thing. This past Saturday, had a retirement party for Detective Lieutenant Jeff Solik. He's going to be sadly missed here. Like I told everybody else, if we had 10 more Jeff Soliks, we wouldn't have any crime in Austintown. He's a very dedicated officer. He ran the Mahoney County Law Enforcement Drug Task Force for several years, represented the township very well, and he's going to be missed.
Well, I wish he was here, we could applaud him, but he served this township outstandingly, so we thank you so very much. Chief, anything going on in the fire department?
On the report.
I like that. Here comes our biggest report. The zoning department, please.
I would ask the board to declare following properties of nuisance under our revised code, 505.87, 146 Aldrich Road, High Grass, 2434, and 2455 Amberley, High Grass, 3888 Ascot, High Grass, 142 North Beverly, High Grass, 4710 Berkey, High Grass, 2300 South Canfield, Nile Road, junk and debris, 2957 Collingwood Place, High Grass, 3887 Daytona Drive, High Grass, junk and debris, 1966 Elm Trace, High Grass, 453 North 4 Mile Run Road, High Grass, 2560 Hammond Drive, debris, Hasty Road, lot 39, that's a vacant lot, High Grass, throughout the property. 1894 Eagle Drive, High Grass, 256 North Idlewood Road, debris, 2855 Inglewood Tree, 4046 Kirk Road, High Grass, 4903 Mahoney, High Grass, 5460, 5472 Mahoney Avenue, there's a strip lot for High Grass off the front property line. 239 South Main Street, High Grass, 1241 and 1257 Mulberry Road, High Grass, 2206 High Grass, South Raccoon Road across from Handyman, it's a vacant lot, High Grass. 37 North Road, a large anonymous lens items that can move throughout the property. 5074 Rockwell Road, junk and debris, and old refrigerator, no rear guard. 234 Rosemont Avenue, tree limbs that the shed in disrepair. 3413 Stark Road, to reestablish a swale that was originally put in. There were actually two properties there. The swale was filled in. One property owner reopened it to allow for stormwater to pass. The other one did. 5628 Tulane, junk and debris. 5619 Vassar, High Grass, and 607 Windcliff Circle, High Grass.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
I would ask the board to approve a motion to find the following motor vehicles meet all the following criteria: 3 model years or older, apparently inoperable, extensively damaged, including but not limited to any of the following: missing wheels, tires, and engine or transmission. Declare the following vehicles public nuisance under Ohio Code 505.871 and or the removal of the junk vehicle within 14 days after notice is served to the property owner. 2560 Hannah Drive, an inoperable black vehicle with expired license plate FCG 6346 parked in exposed manner of the property. And 267 Rosemont Avenue, an inoperable non-licensed white van parked in an exposed manner within the driveway. An inoperable red Jeep pickup truck with expired license plate HAT 4986 and flat tires filled with junk and debris parked in an exposed manner within the driveway.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
And the only other thing I would add for the board is we placed a legal notice at Youngstown Vindicator requesting bids for the demolition of the building at the South Rappahannock Road corner property, the former Burger/Big Lots. Those bids are due Friday, a week from this Friday, the 23rd. And then subsequent to that, we hope to have the building down hopefully by the middle of September.
Super, fantastic. Ready? We want to have a park department report today. Jim, how about the senior center?
Well, Ohio State University has started their nutrition program. It's very well received. It has been in the past. And it just started last week, so about too late if somebody would like to come in and join in. I'm pretty sure they'll be happy to accommodate you. It's a very, very good program. Teaches the proper way to eat, cook food, and things like that. And Ohio State University puts them on for executive. Go Bucks.
Moving on to Lori. Lori, what's going on with the fiscal officer?
I just have the reports this month. We have started to get advances on the second half collection, so we'll see where we stand with those are done coming in.
Always nice to get that money whenever it comes in. Okay, a motion to accept the following reports submitted to the board for review for A, the fund status, B, the revenue status, and C, the appropriation status.
Second.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Under new business, there's a motion to approve the solid waste management plan for the Mahoney County Solid Waste Management District. We are part of all of Mahoney County for the waste things. Derek, you want to tell us anything else?
Yeah, they sent us a copy of their proposal for their master plan. And part of that requirement is all the jurisdictions that they serve, they're requesting that the elected officials, whether they're trustees, city council, mayors, approve it. We are obviously the third largest community in that jurisdiction between behind Youngstown and Boardman. And basically, what the director of Vega told me was, it's basically going to stay the same for the near future. However, they're looking at some point doing away with the recycling drop-off sites, and we have 2 of them. So they would no longer need to lease those from us, and in return, right now, like residents can come up to the township and get a bin. That bin is 18 gallons. They want to do away with those and provide the residents with larger containers, a 64-gallon container or a 96-gallon container. So that if they do close those sites, you would have a much bigger retainer to put your stuff in for curbside pickup. That change, they say is coming, but it's not, he couldn't give me a date as to when it would happen, but it looks like it's out there for a while. If the trustees want to delay this and invite Mr. Vega in to make a presentation, he's willing to do that, but based on everything that they provided with us and what I provided the board, I don't really think it's necessary, but it's the board's call.
Mahoney County Township Association had him come in before. He explained it to us, the situation. We took a mass vote to pass this. So if I may, I'll entertain a motion to accept this agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. By the way, we did get some phone calls from individuals about their recycling bins not being picked up. Frankly, at that point, what happened was we called down and they had 3 people sick on that day, drivers. So they said that they would pick them up. Now, I hope they picked them up the next day. Did they? Thank you. Okay, but that was just why that happened. Because everyone got nervous that they were not going to pick it up anymore. So it was good. Very good. Okay, we have a note from the Ohio Liquor Control Division, whether to request a hearing on notice to legislative authority for the economic development transfer permit to VIR Cleveland Corporation, 5160 Mahoning Avenue, Austintown Township, Youngstown, Ohio. Permit number 928-379-00007. Permit classes from VIR Cleveland Corporation doing business as Ohio Gas Mart, 3637 Glenwood Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio. What we're doing is we're looking at the transfer of a liquor license over to us. Any problems, Chief?
No.
Is there necessary to have a hearing? Okay.
No objection.
Colleagues, do you have any reason to have a hearing? Do you think?
This is a transfer from, because we are full, correct?
Right. The township has a full limit of liquor licenses. The only way you can bring a liquor license into Austintown is you have to have the township's permission to go out and buy somebody else's license and bring it here. In most cases, what we're talking about is organizations who would like to, if they're selling beer, to also sell wine or something of this sort. And we do scrutinize those situations before we do it. In this case, this is a new business coming in, and they need a liquor license, so we okayed it before. Any objections? Okay, in that case, we don't need a motion for the hearing. All right, we're at that part of the meeting where we have public response. You could be invited, we'll invite you to come up and talk to us, give us your name and address. If you want to do it, the first, we'll ask those people who would like to talk to us without being on the camera for our local channel. Anyone here under that circumstance? We'll keep it on there. All right, then I invite people, please, to come up and you can make your comments to us. But first, always say your name and then say your address and then tell us what you'd like us to hear. Anyone like to come up? Please.
My name is Steve Baylock. I live at 4680 Oak Kirk Road. You won't see my house. My house is not on the street. I have a 900-foot driveway. My house is 3 acres back between 2 houses. I'm here about the creek that was dug out that you guys authorized, I guess. Does anybody know about it? Any of you trustees know about it?
You know, it's terrible because the guy who would talk about that right now is not here, our road department. Is that
That's the Spring Meadow.
the Spring Meadow? Oh, the Spring Meadow retention pond. Okay. Is there some, okay, I presume it's something kind of negative things. Please tell us, Steve, what's the problem?
Okay, they dug a ditch from behind the creek was there, from the nursing home.
Yes.
Right where the retention ponds, they dug it deeper and wider. Okay, I'm watching TV one day, okay, I'm in my pajamas and stuff. And I get up and look out the window, there's about a 14-ton, 15-ton backhoe on my property, right next to my driveway. Okay, I never heard of him. And I go, what the heck's going on? So I hurry up, change some clothes. I get my car and drive down to the creek, because the creek is halfway from the street to my house, and then up from there to my house. So I go down there, and I stand there and watch him do what he's doing. So then I step forward where he can see me, and he stops. I said, what the hell are you doing on my property? He said, well, they told me to come dig. I said, who told you to come dig? He said, well, I'm not gonna tell you. I said, you're gonna tell me who you are. You know, so he started giving me a hard time. And next thing I know, he got on his cell phone and he called somebody, then Ray Penny came over. And he said, what's the problem? I told him, who authorized anybody to come on my property? I said, nobody knocked on the door, nobody called me on the phone, nobody sent me a letter or nothing. And I didn't appreciate somebody coming down the whole creek across there, all the way. And what he did is, the one side, I got a picture, part of it, could I show it to you guys?
Please.
You can pass it down. All the kids in the neighborhood, anybody else that come there, they love that creek the way it was. So what they did, he was digging right there when I stopped him. And what I should have did, don't say nothing to him, but he was digging right there where my water line goes underneath the creek. Because it's gotta be 3 foot underneath so it doesn't freeze. But I put my mouth and I told him about it. He laughed. Oh, if I would have hit it, we'd have water all over it. Yeah, you'd have one hell of a water bill. Wouldn't be my fault. But, what I'm getting at, nobody called me or nothing. And what they did is, he cut the good side there, where you can see on the thing. I used to cut both sides of the creek. Now I can't even get on the other side, the south side of the creek. It's all growing up and everything over there, it doesn't look good. But on the right side, the north side, where he brought the big tractor across there, backhoe, he got all kind of marks sinking in there because the ground was still wet. He dug stuff over there and he put it on my side, under the end, there's big rocks and stones in there, where you can't get to it. I tried to cut it with my hand mower, can't do it. And when Ray Penny was there, I told him, I says, the other side, the east side of my driveway, that creek goes down to where the apartments is, it crosses over Burke Road. Over there, I told him, I says, you guys are gonna run that over my cement here, you break that cement pad, you're gonna pay for it. If you push the pipes in there, you're gonna pay for it, because I just put 2 new pipes in there about 3 years ago. Cost me over $400,000. No, $4,000, I'm sorry. I had the pipes put in. And when I first moved there in '79, the water was coming out in my front yard so heavy that it was making it look like a little pond. I noticed it's gonna take a while, you guys have to know what I'm talking about. And when I come up here and talked about it, he told me that's private property and nothing to do with it. Okay? When Ray Penny come, he says, oh, we have an easement. We could come here and do it. I said, we don't have an easement. I said, the easement is for the sanitary sewer from the Money County. Not you. You can't buy, you can't build nothing 11 feet from one side of that pipe. I know that. But I told him, I said, I want this all smoothed out. I want a rotor tiller, take all the stones out, level it up, plant grass, put straw on it till it grows in. Okay? And I haven't heard no more from it. Of course,
Okay,
the
Steve,
weather-
well, we haven't heard it either, he was gone. First, I'm gonna say something to you. The one thing I can tell you right now is I apologize 100%, and we will absolutely go around and find out why you weren't called. We don't go on people's property without absolutely informing them they're doing it. If there is damage to any of your property, we'll fix it. But what I'd like to do is have you come in or set up a meeting for us to go down, as soon as these, unfortunately, our road people aren't here. We'll go down and meet you at your property to see what it is and then find out what we have to do, okay? Any objections from there's no.
I was
Did
here.
they dig it 4 feet wider? This is obviously before they dug. This is before they started digging.
That's before they started digging.
The picture was taken probably 20
So-
years ago.
Now it's a lot wider, I assume. I'm gonna assume.
It's wider and deeper,
Wider and deeper, and you got a lot of damage.
but the problem is, okay, I'm gonna go 2 ways on this, I wanna go back. Okay, now from the driveway going east, to finish off on the other side of my pipes, okay? I told him you can't come across there, you break it, you're gonna have to fix it. The pipes, like I told you, you're gonna have to fix it. Okay, next thing I know, I look out there one day, and I get up and look out, and there's a small backhoe there, probably about a 7-ton. Okay, and was sitting there right beside my driveway, and nobody's around. And I go, how the hell did he get there? What he did, he started down up the street, came all the way out to the creek, digging backyards, all the people on Sheffield Drive, on Sheffield County. And then he parked it there. And I was watching him, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. He looks around, he looks on one side of my pipes, looks on the other side of the pipes. He walks up between the last two houses on Sheffield there, and he disappears. I said, okay, probably either had to go to the bathroom, maybe went to eat, maybe took a break or whatever. Okay, he didn't come back at 1 o'clock. And I'm watching all the time, waiting. And when I'm watching, coming down my driveway, I could see a red light and something yellow that I couldn't see past the trees. There was no leaves on it yet. And I was wondering what the heck's going on. Okay? The next day I see him come walking down my driveway. Okay? Then he gets in the truck, his backhoe, and he backs it up on my driveway, and he spins it. So I'm making it turn it. It doesn't, you can't turn it like a wheel. You gotta shut one off and turn it. Okay? And then he dug it up right there where the pipes are. Then he went all the way up the driveway towards the street. So I just run, change some clothes real fast, run out and jump in my car and go down and catch him. And as I started to go down there, he was already making a left turn on Kirk Road going out towards the raccoon. I said, how the hell did he get that thing on the trailer so fast? And what happened is, when he backed that trailer in to get it, he ran off my drive. He ran on the side, put a hole about that deep, that wide over there. And then what happened is, I got hold of Michael when I was here one day. You know, I'm talking about Duckery.
Yes.
And he did come down and look at it. He said, we'll take care of that groove where it was, and they did. Somebody come down and filled it in and everything, nice, looks nice. But nobody come down and do my yard or nothing. I understand the weather. But at least I thought somebody would call me and say, hey, we'll be down one of these days, we're gonna do it.
Steve, do we have, does he have your telephone number?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't want it on the camera, so we'll get it for you later, okay? I promise you this, you will get a call, and I'm the only one that doesn't work during the day, so I'll be down with Mike. We'll go over everything that's there. Any correction that has to be done, we'll make sure it's done.
I was just wondering, I haven't heard nothing, that's the reason why I'm here. But the other part is, nobody knocked on the door.
Yeah, that's,
Okay, okay, now get all of this. He used my driveway. No, I didn't give nobody okay to use my driveway. Now there's slots there, that there's a track slab. I come up down the driveways, it's like this, and I told Michael about it.
well, we'll go through it all.
I'm sorry?
We'll go through it all when we're down there.
No, the reason I'm saying is, if you guys ain't gonna take care of it, and get a hold of him to pay something for you guys doing it. Give me his name, his company, his license, everything else, so I can take action, because on the driveway coming up, there's 5 poles with the electric and everything come back to my house. Every one that's on there, no trespassing.
You won't need any of that. Once we get if those are our men working for the township, and there is damage done to yours in any state, we'll take care of it.
Don't want to tell you how he got that tractor off,
Yeah.
up there on it's a trailer. My neighbor, the right side coming in, his bedroom right there, facing the driveway, he's a truck driver. He heard a noise, he looks out, he sees him backing up, he says, what the hell's Steve doing there? Tried backing up to the trailer, you know? So he was watching him, and the guy went off the side, found out he was sunk in. So he got back in and pulled it up as far as he could, eliminate that. And when he brought the tractor up there, I told him, how did he get it on? He started watching. But he did, he took it right up to it, dropped the bucket on the end of it, on the back, it tilted, he run up on it. When he got up, he dropped the bucket, run in the truck from there. Now that sort of teed me off too, twice. My yard with the big one and my driveway.
Our policy is not by that means anyway. I don't know, we will investigate the situation. But the fact of the matter is, even though at times we have to go on private property, we should get permission, absolute permission. the mere fact that we do anything on anybody's property without first making you aware that it was there is absolute error. And we'll straighten it out.
Okay, one other thing. We read all the stuff on the retention pond, all those limbs and stuff is coming down with the water. It's blocked into the 2 pipes. I'm not going down and trying to get them out of there.
We'll go down
My
again.
helper is in the same boat, so I need somebody to take them out of there so the water goes.
When we come there, we'll go through a whole list of things.
Okay,
And then we'll go over it, and you give us okay that we can do this, we'll take care of it, and you give us the okay that we did it, okay?
I appreciate if somebody come down, I can talk to you down there.
Absolutely.
You guys can keep the picture.
We made copies, we made copies.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Steve, thank you, and once again, I apologize.
Okay, appreciate it.
Anyone else, please? Okay, go ahead, Sam. Sam is fast.
Sam Squire, 4492 Ball Road. Anytime you hear just to thank some people, we had a celebrity bartender event at El Cowboy on behalf of Mahoney Valley 911 Memorial on Raccoon Road. And we went out and got some people that are really involved in what the memorial is about. Local law enforcement, local fire department, and our military. And I'd like to thank Chief Cavalier, Chief Frost, for all their support, not only on this event, but all year long and anything we do up there. They sent us a couple fine individuals. Chief Cavalier sent Detective Sergeant Kathy Dina, and she brought a bunch of people, their family and all that. Chief Frost sent a young lady, firefighter Sarah Anton, who did an outstanding job and also brought her family and participated. We had Sergeant First Class Teddy Kester from the Ohio National Guard there as well. And our friends at Greenwood Chevy, Chris Davis. It went over really well. Once again, I'd like to thank the department heads in the township for this, and especially Israel, the owner of El Cowboy, and Manny, the manager, and as well as the staff there and the patrons that came that night. We did get, I think, $620 in tips that the individuals got. Also, 10% of the sales, which came to pretty close to $500. So we did a fine job. I'd like to thank everybody, and especially these fine folks, and for a job well done. And thank you, Israel, the owner, not only for that event, but also purchasing an event for $1,000 at the memorial. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Thank you. Sir.
Good evening. Stephen Shealy, 2042 Hemlock Court. Was in the last few weeks, you all know that the states came down Route 11 and taking out any sound barrier, any tree cover between my backyard and Route 11. Before and after pictures, I would like to give you guys more for you to keep.
Is there anybody else that wants to talk about Old Dock? Okay, could I give my speech?
That's all I would like is more information.
Because
that's all I'm here for, more information.
The gentleman here and so on, I got a call today. Gentlemen, I tried to see you here to let you know about it, but may I go through?
All I'm looking for is more
May I have
information.
those?
Yes, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, let me start it off. My colleagues gave me the task of leading to go through and see about what went on with the state and what we're going to do about it. We were absolutely stunned by what they did. Their policy was to cut all the stuff from the fence all the way down to the ditch and so on. When we called them to ask about it, and we also had Representative Lepore Hagan and Senator Ruley asked them, They said it was because of drainage. And they gave us all this explanation and so on. And they didn't want to do anything else. But finally, we called the Division 4, which is our area, District 4, send the person down. His name was Jim. Let me get all this stuff here because I got it all. Okay. He is, the person who showed up was Bob Pello. He's an administrator for the highway maintenance for ODOT. And he was there with the ODOT people from Mahoney County. What they didn't understand is two things. And if I'm going to say this, and I'm not running for office, but it's because of my background. I was a state rep. I was the governor's regional director for 9 counties. I worked at ODOT and all these little things. Not only that, when they told us what we want, I called up 3 different engineers, the EPA, and then on television, there was a professor from YSU talking about trees. When we went down there, we were loaded from there. It was Darren went and Mike Dockery. It was my big mouth. Understand something, I'm 75 years old. I was here in Austintown when they started Route 11. I was here for a meeting from ODOT talking about what was going on. At that time, your houses were not there. They were being prepared to get started, but they weren't there yet. When they came here, they said, we're going to put up a fence, and we're going to put up these trees that'll be a barrier for everybody, and so on. And everybody applauded. Route 11 is beautiful. It truly is beautiful. I never saw any of the problems there. We have one drainage problem. We have one house. They said they got all kind of calls and everything else. One house has a problem because their drainage pipes are 24 inches, ours are 18. Because of the conflict there's a backflow that goes onto one house. She has the right to have a problem and complain about it. And what we said, that's what we should be fixing. Why in the world? Now let me give you our arguments. I am not going to give you theirs because I have good news. Okay, I have good news. The problem is that by the time we started attacking this, they had already damaged the property. Our argument was simply this. Engineers told us the trees were put there, number 1, for erosion. Number 2, for a buffer. Number 3, trees absorb carbon monoxide. Number 4, they slow down the drain of storms as it goes down the hill. Even the bushes there did it. If they were having any problem, they should have dredged the ditch, nothing else. One of their arguments was, and I'm not so sure that it was brought up to some committee to make the decision. One of their arguments was that they wanted to get at the fence and they couldn't get at the fence. There have been 3 trees since that bridge, that road's been there since 1967. There have been 3 trees that fell on the fence and they fixed the fence. We went over to one of the owner's properties and what the only damage on the fence was their machine that hit it twice. When we were finished talking to them, the man from District 4 just looked like he was stunned. We asked him constantly about it. Unfortunately, we may have a little problem with the supervisor down at Division in Mahoney County because when they started talking, we just closed them up. So they left. In the process, I called both Representative Lepore-Hagan and Senator Ruley. I know the routine. You see, we're not big time. You know, Austintown, the trustee. The only problem is they didn't know my background. So it was an easy process, easy process. Now, I didn't know what we were supposed to do. They were supposed to call me for us to go up and speak to the supervisors up in Akron for District 4. Then I wasn't getting a call from either of the legislators. Here they were at a convention. When Senator Ruley came in and he says, Ken, calm everybody down. Now, didn't we ask him, I'll tell you what, I said, look, it's too late to stop you from what you did.
Yeah.
We need a correction. That's the important thing. Apparently, the young man who left us and went back told them exactly what we said, laid it out pretty good. I did mention something about malfeasance and misfeasance. Quite frankly, I'm not sure we have the right to do it, but it doesn't matter with me. As far as I'm concerned, that's law of the press. I'm really surprised that we don't have any press people here tonight. But Senator Ruley called me this morning. He said, Ken, tell the people that the district will be there. They're going to finish the project. Now, they're going up past some of the other places, but we're going to see about stopping them from anywhere where their houses. But they said after it's over, which is roughly around 3 weeks, they will come with the whole team over here and figure out what to do. They asked us once again, what do we suggest? I said, you're asking me now. But here's the situation. There's no need in planting trees, although they're going to have to, because we'll all be dead and gone by the time those trees are back up again. Some of us faster than others. But they agreed, they started talking about what was the name of that tree, that bush?
Arborvitae.
Arborvitae. The thing is, you put that up fast, they grow 3 feet every year. The important factor is that you want to first close down the site, stop the sound, and make that barrier as fast as you can. They will have to put some other brush and other things on it. They have found out that what they did probably was incorrect. Well, you know, they're not going to, you understand politics, they're not going to admit to the whole thing. The most beautiful part of the meeting was when they weren't going to do anything, I picked up the phone and I started dialing, and they said, well, what's going on? I said, I'm going to call the governor. And I know the governor. Then all of a sudden, it was not that they were doing this all over the state, it was just Division 4. Now I understand it may only have been Mahoney County. So I apologize, yes. So let's open it up.
So it just takes one person to screw everything up?
Well, it's not one person. What
No, because I've lived on Maple Trace Court for 12 years. I have not one damage, no flooding, no nothing. My neighbor, she has 3 children. She's afraid to have her kids playing in her backyard. I have a granddaughter. I am afraid.
Okay. Let me
There's
tell you
so
something.
many accidents.
All of your
That was her
arguments,
barrier.
all of your arguments were said. What irritates me the most, and we're going to have a big meeting about that. The one thing in politics that we always have to remember is no matter what your job is down there, whatever you think may happen, the first thing you should think about is if you live there, how would that affect you? They did not. They didn't do, do unto others as you would have do unto you routine. They thought they were doing something, and I'm not an architect, I'm not an engineer, but I know how to research, baby. And the fact of the matter is, I don't think anybody can give us a logical reason. They tried 7 different, was it about 7 or 8 different reasons?
Just to respond to what you just said, they originally told Ken, they had a ton of complaints.
Yes.
That area, and we told them, first off, exactly, we told them, first off, the first people you're gonna call is us. I will send emails to the building inspector, the Board of Health, the county engineer, when something involves them and I can help a resident, along with that resident's contact information. If someone calls me with a NODOT problem, I have the district director's email. As long as it's something I can envision and I can type up, I will do that for a resident and notify the resident that I did it. Sometimes you witness something, you just have to do it yourself, but if we can help out, we will. Zoning, police, road. None of us
And
have
it gets to
complaints.
us.
None of us have complaints about drainage. When Mr. Carano asked them, he made a public information request. Send us the call sheets from all of our residents on Penny Lane and the cul-de-sacs who called about drainage.
Yeah.
There is one lady there, and clearly she has a legitimate complaint. What happened was in the middle 60s, and the only one that was around was Ken. So we'll blame Ken. We'll blame Ken for this. But they've got a head wall that discharges into what was then undeveloped land, which is now the Woodland Trace subdivision where everybody lives. That head wall is probably about 20 feet. That head wall is probably about 20 feet from the property line. And then when Woodland Trace was put in, and back then, there was no drainage requirements. And like the gentleman that spoke here before, that retention pond was the Spring Meadow retention pond was a private-public partnership between the developer of Spring Meadow and the township to basically capture that water from Route 11. And I lived over there. I grew up over there. I was at the corner of Birch and Woodridge. We moved in '73. So I know where the water was coming from. But the state discharged that water into that undeveloped land. Now, they may have been allowed to because there was no regulations, or they may have had that property owner's permission. That lady has a legitimate complaint, and I'm aware of the complaint because I grew up over there. But there was nobody contacted us to say you have a flooding problem. And we told ODOT, we believe if our residents had a flooding problem from Route 11, they would call us first.
Right.
Because we're here local.
Here's the other thing is, they said, what they're gonna do is take that stuff out, they're gonna plant grass there. Then they just sent us a notice that they're not cutting grass anymore. ODOT blew it.
Yeah.
I think it was more done locally than it was there, but supervisors should have been doing it. The worst part is, they said, well, we had a meeting. You didn't come to our meeting. Show us the letter that went out. The one thing we do in this township, every phone call, every email, everything under the sun is absolutely put in file. And there was absolutely none. We didn't find out from you until you told us. I didn't see them thinking that, and by that time, they damaged it. It always was done. But I have to say this, let me ask you, you know what, you have the right to air what you feel, if you want to talk.
Oh, I already said that.
Okay, I mean, that's good. Because if you want to, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have every right to be angry. I tried to be as nice as I was. I was a little forceful, shall I say. I don't care. I'm also a debate coach. But the point is that I have to say this publicly. Senator Ruley, the first one was our representative who called there. You need that influence on them. I can pick up the phone, but they don't know me. This is a whole new group that's there. So they called. They came out with the answer to us. We attacked it. We did the things. We did what we did correctly. I was very pleased after that meeting. I was a little upset that they weren't calling me, but now I found out why. Because he went back and he agrees. He agreed. Now, what does that mean? That means goodie for today, and thank you, Senator Ruley, because he was the go-between. He called me a nice man. I told him if he does everything correctly, maybe I'll become a Republican. No, I can't. Okay. No, but he's a nice person. He's a nice person. He called me and gave me all the influence, and I told him simply this: thank you. I will tell the people there. I will tell them. I will tell them to thank you and to thank them, thank my colleagues, thank everybody that sat there. Thank the engineers that I talked to, thank to the architects I talked to, thank to the gentleman from YSU. That's step 2. Step 3, It's going to happen in a month. If we will be looking for it, so will Senator, so will Representative. We'll be waiting for them to come in and talk to us, and then start, and we'll talk to you. What I'm suggesting to them is, they should take a little heat. And what we should do is, they come up with some plans, and then we'll have a meeting. And then you guys can pick what you want, if there's alternatives. I can't promise anything except what I'm telling you right now. I would hope they are people of their word. If they're not, don't worry. We're not afraid to attack the things. But I'm going to assume that they're going to do what they asked. So we will get to you. We will keep you posted. I would like for you, it's a lot easier for me to get to you. By the way, these three gentlemen over here, Ango, I don't even pronounce it, Angel.
Well, it's Angel, I pronounce it an Angel.
I like
Yeah,
Angel, though. You're an Angel. Angel and Peter and Joe. The fact that you showed up, you stopped me having, and the trustees having to take on ODOT. You made the comment, so it was easier to go with them. Thank you. Your neighbors should thank you. They showed up and did a nice job.
Awesome. Thank
And
you.
thank you for that. And they did. We went over to their house. Hey, good coffee, too.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't sleep for 2 days after that. It was so strong. But the thing is, they represented you well. And the fact is that now we wait. We think that they are going to do something to try to rectify the problem that they created. And hopefully so. Stand by is all I can tell you. Okay? Yes?
I got a question. What are they gonna do with all the, I'm gonna call it debris right now, because
They're
they
gonna
chopped
clean it.
up everything. They're gonna wipe all that out?
They're supposed to, that's what we asked them. And even the senator said, what the heck?
Because that's the whole issue, is debris.
That's what we think, yeah, they're supposed to get all that stuff off, all that debris off, all that, it's foliage.
Well, that was the whole problem I understood, was that was the debris, and now they caused more. Are they gonna just leave it, or let it go? Or-
We have a lot of problems, and my biggest question is, who did they use to? That was, I asked them, I said, look, I want to send you a letter, and it's going to ask for public thing, I want to know who was at the committee meeting, did you go to the EPA, did you go to engineers, and did you go to everybody else? You see how fast it all of a sudden changed, because I don't think they did.
Because I live on Middle Trace, and that's further down, and it's still, I mean, I think they could have stopped it if they wanted to, but you can stop anywhere down along there.
When you showed us the pictures, when we got the pictures of before and after, the beautiful backyard.
Yes,
Everything
yes.
was there. Even the shrubbery on Route 11, it was never impossible.
It's basically a privacy thing.
Yeah.
I just purchased a year ago, and I would have totally rethought purchasing that property if it would have been how it is now versus how it was when I purchased it a year ago.
No question. See, that was the one good thing about being the age that I was there, because I was at the meeting that ODOT had here to talk about Route 11, and they lived up to it. They built the fence, and they put the trees in the way they were supposed to. The fence is still in good shape. The trees were too. Yes, we have some problems. Now there's the big trees. Now hopefully they're not going to take down the big trees. Those are the ones that are more scary than the ones they took down. But the fact of the matter is, all I can tell you is what I got from the senator this morning. I got the backup from the District 4. Let's see, knock on wood, let's see what they're going to do. Okay? Yes.
I'm Debbie Scardina.
Yeah.
I just want you to know, I called ODOT when they were when I saw them doing it down there. He gave me the stupidest reason, was that it was shading the road.
Well,
That was on TV.
Now, let me
Channel 21.
Let me explain to you. They brought that up there, they thought that was going to be the answer. They don't understand that we go through that here all the way. We're at New Road. I live off of New Road. They have that problem. What happens is, when rain comes down, the trees over the top stop the sunshine from drying the road. The water gets underneath, when it freezes, it pops. The trees are 100 yards away from the thing. The sunshine gets through, no problem.
Right.
That, you know what, wait, let me just show you this. On the right side, they started off by telling all of us it was drainage. When we destroyed that, they went to this.
Oh, my God.
We destroyed it all. There's all the answers. I mean, it was absolutely insane. And the poor guy from District 4 didn't even know what was going on. And he knows his business. So hopefully that's the case, but it just irritates me that we have to sit around and wait to see what they're gonna do to take care of it.
Be honest with you, if I was a betting man, I would probably say they just took them down so they wouldn't have to maintain any grass or trees down along the whole thing, only just where the road is.
But
That's
they
probably
haven't
why they did it.
maintained anything
No,
for 50 years.
Fantastic.
Now, they didn't even stop cutting the grass. When I worked for ODOT, they actually hired outside people to cut the grass on the inside, not on the hills. And the thing is to take, when you're talking about drainage, and you take away the foliage on a hill that's 5 feet higher than the road, what kind of insanity? I mean, common
It's
sense.
insanity.
Common sense. But, you know, somebody, yes.
Karen, I'd like to thank you for your efforts so far, this far.
Yeah.
And appreciate you following up and everything. And, it sounds like you got a lot accomplished. And I just wanted to thank you guys because you really have followed up on this. And I just appreciate your
Yes,
efforts.
thank you.
It's our, don't thank me until those
No,
trees,
no.
the bushes go up, then you can thank me. Okay. Anybody else want to say anything? Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, this is about, I know you're about to talk about. Okay, let me talk about,
Yeah, they're digging out there now in that area they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're digging around there now, and they're digging past my backyard,
Yeah,
cleaning it out.
Are they cleaning?
they marked for a water line.
Now, they have to absolutely take that stuff off.
Yeah, they marked for a water line. There's a water line that comes through there. They flagged behind Angel's house. That was, what, 3 or 4 days ago, I guess?
Yeah.
So,
Then where do you live? Next
21.
door.
You have such a
Penny Lane.
beautiful
Oh,
community.
okay.
You have such a beautiful community back there. I am so embarrassed that colleagues of mine in politics made a rash decision that without, but it irritates me. Common professional courtesy says that when you come, if they're doing anything on 680 or 80 or something like that, we get all kind of notices. To do this in Austintown to our residents without notifying us at all is absolutely poor behavior. It really is.
I have between, she's my neighbor on the right and my neighbor on the left, 4 car
You like each
accidents.
other?
Sorry, car accident in my neighbor's car accident. The guy came through and knocked down one of my trees, and they had to replace most of the fence. I mean, I could see the truck from my bedroom window turned over, guy's bloody. Then another girl ran into the ravine. They still haven't fixed the fence. It's just bent behind my shed. And then a couple kids.
Oh, you have a bent fence there?
Yes, I reported it. I mean, they said they couldn't get to it, but it's been like that for probably 7, 8 years. And it looks so hideous. And, you know, I have kids, and it's
A lot of times
like,
you do fish.
now it's like, I can't even play, I mean, I emailed them, like, you make my backyard a danger zone, because I cannot have my kids even play on a play set. Figure out a.
They were yelling at it, we were yelling at that, but I'm gonna end this by simply saying this. They made the giant-sized mistake of their lives when we first started. They turned to us and said, that's our property.
Oh, that's what they told me.
And I looked at him and I said, your maintenance contract, that is property of the people, the taxpayers of the state of Ohio, and that includes the people that you're shafting by taking the trees down. We never heard it again after that. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's their property.
Well, he told me that if I don't like it, I can go ahead and plant trees,
Yeah,
but it better not be on state property. I can go ahead and put a fence up, but it better not be on state property.
those are the 3 guys who are working in Mahoney County. They will not talk to you like that again. And anyone that talks to you like that, please call me.
I did, I talked to, I think it was Darren, I talked to Darren, he calmed me down very, very nicely.
Darren calmed me down twice.
But, I mean, I was literally on the phone with him, and you can, I don't hear the traffic. Literally, I cannot sit on my porch and talk to her like we used to. We literally have to sit next to the fence.
The thing is, at this point, that's why I'm almost glad that the press is in here. Because the Division 4 has come up with some sort of plan for us, because they can't put the trees back. I'm not gonna go pick on them until after we get the trees put up.
I don't really think these little flowers or bushes that they're gonna plant is gonna be protective of our family.
Well, you know, the protection part is a different story. That is something really that I don't think they thought about 50 years ago. Because in many cases, the shield factor in going up in there, which should be protecting, is around the trees. And they did mention the fact that, yeah, those people didn't plant their own trees. Why would I plant more trees if I build a house and the trees are there?
And we probably lost value to our house.
Yes.
Because if I sell my house right now, there is no way somebody's gonna go in my backyard. Yeah, I have a beautiful pool, I have a beautiful yard. If they're gonna see trucks going 80 miles down the road, they're gonna say, are you out of your mind?
The three people there weren't here when the promise was made.
I would like the
Promises
police
don't-
department to go stand in my backyard and watch these trucks in court go 75, 82 miles an hour down the
Especially
road.
Saturday night.
They're going
Canfield Fair. Oh, yeah, the Canfield Fair, that would be great.
Okay.
Anytime after 12:30 and 3.
And they can't put a wall up.
They can.
They can't. Of
That
course they
would-
can't.
No,
They
what
took our
happens
wall.
is this, by state law, because of the law, unless they change the law, you can't, the very first thing that you have to prove is the fact that you weren't there before the.
What does that have to do with
there.
it? I don't
They
understand.
took away what was there before.
I talked to them about that, and I said that, is there some way of putting some sort of walls there?
Yeah.
That's still under the things. I don't believe that would happen, because that would be,
10 years from then.
well, it'd be more than 10 years, it would also be about $12 million.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I talked to him, as someone,
And if they do that for you here, obviously it'll have to take place everywhere else. There has to be
It's just
some.
our place, just a little patch. If you go down Route 11, from Mahoning Avenue to 224, it's just our little patch. Why?
Well,
That's
that's
one
what
thing.
we'll argue with them about that. I apologize for us because we were not aware of it. That was the thing that stunned me when they said, we got all these calls. Nobody calls anyone first except us. They call us first. And we got absolutely no phone calls on any of that stuff. But knock on wood, somebody made a mistake, and unfortunately in life, mistakes are made. We just want them to rectify.
But they're not doing the other side, is that correct?
Yeah.
Or are they planning on
I
it?
certainly hope not. And those are questions that will be asked.
Because there's really no, I don't think there's any houses over on the other
Now,
side.
that's a lot higher too.
Now, still, if you do one side,
Might as
I
well
mean, you
do
still
the
got the culvert on that side and they're both on
Yeah,
both
it makes
sides.
sense.
So-
So why? It doesn't, they do it. Just us.
Okay. I do apologize again, but, and thank you for being here, and we will keep you absolutely posted. But before you leave, would you please give us your telephone numbers? Because it's easier to email you than it is for us to do anything else. Okay? Eric? Thank you.
Eric Lee, 5741 Northwest Boulevard. My troubles don't seem so bad right now. Thanks. Nice having company. I appreciate it. The chief hired minorities. It's very important. I appreciate that. And the one other thing I want to remind everybody, the election's coming up for trustee. Why Doug isn't running, I don't know why.
Yeah, ask her.
I just can't figure out why.
he told us he was.
There's one little thing, I've always been on the cheap side. The other day I went to the center, and all they talked about was buying a new dog. That's okay, I like dogs. Everybody should have a dog, if you want one. I go to the center, have a cup of coffee, care about this dog. 2 weeks later, they go to Montana and get this dog. That's okay too. They bring it back Friday. I see the dog. I had enough of that dog. But then they have an employee sitting outside with a tent, a fan for the dog, dog treated like a king, no offense. And I wish I could buy a dog and have a township employee watch my dog. Now they say they're working. All 5 years I've been going there, you've been working inside. All of a sudden you buy a dog and you work outside with your dog. That makes no sense to me. I gotta question that. I guess taxpayer money is very important. Levies are hard to come by. Thanks to Cavalier, levies will be passed more often here in the township because he does a fine job. But if we're not careful, the senior center was a levy. It's gonna come up for vote again. We have too much calm time. I talked about the free lunches before. I talked about the hours. There's no change. Now, when I vote, and I vote every year and I work the elections, I'm a firm believer of getting the word out. I just want to know why, is that going to continue on, having that dog outside when it rains?
What dog are we talking about? That's what I'd like to know. Are we talking about our police canine?
No, we're talking about the senior center dog that we don't have. The director has bought a dog. And
who bought a dog?
The director.
Okay, he bought a dog.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay, and he bought it with his personal money?
Yeah, he went and got it with his personal money. We had a full-time employee take off 4 or 5 days to go get it.
Okay.
But we have the seniors go there every day. You got something to do, that's fine. That's your business. But I think when you come and start getting into my business, then I have a right to say something. I am a homeowner in Austintown. I just question money being spent. And people talk about it. People in the center talk about it. Everybody's not saying it. But I understand if you show dogs and he does a fine job, I think he should do it. You know what I mean? You retire, go do it. But when you accept a job with the township, you accept the responsibilities of serving the people of the township. That's why we hired you. If we didn't hire you, you leave the center when you want to, whenever you have a show or something, that's your business. Do it on your time. Don't do it on the seniors' time. We lived a long time. I'm 77 years old. I got Parkinson's. I'm deteriorating like crazy. I want to enjoy my last couple of years. I want you to enjoy your couple of years.
Yeah.
But I'm on my dime. Get your own dime, enjoy your time. That's the way it was. I was born on the east side. And I see a snake in a wood pile, I know what it looks like. I just don't all of a sudden the dog appears. It hasn't been there for 5 years.
Okay, so I guess my only question here is, well, one, I will say this, and not to argue about this, but they are entitled to vacation time, so if there is a dog show, they are allowed to take vacation time to go, but I understand.
Yeah.
But so I just want to understand, am I understanding correctly, you're saying that this dog is at the center?
Outside.
He's outside. He's outside.
And somebody's
Yes, he's
watching
outside.
that dog?
It hasn't been inside.
Okay.
Health department, they don't allow it.
Okay. Eric, I'm gonna stop you for a second. Thank you. You made the point. We will investigate that. Understand something else. You talked about comp time and everything else. We have already gone through that system about pay and comp time, and we have adjusted it. I'll take care of it with you later.
Okay, I appreciate it. One thing I gotta say here, this has made my life rough. I gotta go to that center tomorrow, and I'm gonna be an outcast for a while. That's okay. Been an outcast before. I can fight my own battles. So if you think you can spread a rumor about me, you want to get rid of your dog, I want you to have that dog as long as you live.
Eric,
That's it.
you're doing personal time.
Okay.
That's right. No
Okay,
personal
that's it.
time.
I appreciate your time.
Okay.
If I may, and if I could do it from here.
Yes, sure.
I'm Tony Ravetti, 1684 Lancaster. Look, I hear what Eric's saying, that and he's talking about complaints. We've had complaints at our advisory board that we have a suggestion box for the people who put it in. And they do. When we read that at our meeting, you know that as well, okay? The dog, man took the dog, the girl came in with the dog, he got the dog, he put it outside, he put a fence that he made himself to put over there so the dog could be there for a few hours. It wasn't, the dog wasn't coming in like the complaint at one time the dog hit her that. Are people complaining about what we do there? I'm not getting suggestions in the suggestion box that says you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that as far as people getting along. People get along, but there's a few, a small few, that make it bad for the rest. But I'm talking as the chairman of the advisory board. And that's all I can say.
Okay, I understand this. We are not getting here a debate over the issue.
Right.
Someone brought up an issue, and we'll talk to Jim about it and see what the situation is. That's what we're here for. If you guys have the confrontations of things like that, and that you want to speak to each other about that or someplace else, this is not the, no?
I just want to say one thing.
It's over, guys. It's
No,
over.
I'm not, number one, trying to have an argument here, okay? What I'm just trying to say is, there's a lot of good things going on at the senior center, and the people are not complaining, which he did say people are tired of it. Okay? That's all I'm saying. The next thing I was gonna do is thank you people in the police department for what you do. And getting another officer, that was a great move. And Darren, you're doing a great job too. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak? All right, thank you. Now, I do apologize to my colleagues. Last meeting, all of a sudden we started with the round 11, and I totally forgot to ask them to make their comments at the end. So we're going to have double comments, so sit here and listen to us. Now, Laura, do you have anything?
I don't have anything tonight.
One of the things I'd like to mention, just because I find it humorous in reading, I pay attention to social media and a lot of the forums a lot. And so one of the big discussions, obviously, is Myers coming to Austintown. And when Boardman has, Boardman is slated to get a Myers, Warren is slated to get a Myers. Oh, Austintown is getting screwed. They're not getting a Myers because they're coming to Boardman. Well, I just want to say, lo and behold, if you have noticed, the grass has been cut at the Myers property. Who cut that? Myers cut the grass at their property. How about that, folks? So Myers is coming to Austintown. So I just want to thank the people of Myers for being good tax-paying residents and cutting their grass there and being a good steward of the community. Thank you to the Myers people, and we are so glad and cannot wait till you build in 2020 when you come, so once and for all we can put this rumor to rest that you are coming. We know they're coming, folks. I just want to make a point. Thank you, Myers, for cutting the grass. We're glad you're still coming. Eric, you talked about the elections, so I do want to say that, first of all, yes, Doug is not. And I will tell you that I am heartbroken by that. It has been a pleasure to serve with Doug. Doug was my high school principal. He has been a family friend. My sister just adores him. He has a great family. His son works at the police department. You can't ask for a better officer. He's an upstanding gentleman. But when we needed a trustee, and Ken and I bounced our heads off the wall, it was almost like, I said it was funny that Rick Stauffer left because it was like a sign from God that it showed up on my Facebook because it gives you your old memories, and I posted on Facebook many years before that I went to see Doug as he was retired from Austintown Local Schools. And I said that day that the Austintown Local School District made a huge mistake by not retaining him and making sure that he was our superintendent of schools. But it was on there, and I simply did one thing, and that was to Ken. I said, hey, one name for you. He goes, what's that? Doug McGlynn. He goes, we got to wait till executive session this time. So we got an executive session, our next meeting, and right away made the decision to appoint Doug, and I think that it has been a blessing to the taxpayers of Austintown to have him come back to Austintown once again, although he never left because he's been a resident, but it was a blessing to have him back in a leadership role. I will tell you, one of the reasons we wanted to appoint him was because we felt the taxpayers trusted him enough that they would help and support that police levy, and it just so happened that our police levy passed. So, Doug, I will say that I'm going to be sad to see you go. I do, however, hope that at some point you maybe reconsider maybe when you're retired. I understand Western Reserve really needs you right now. We understand that. So we understand why. But we just hope that when they don't need you anymore and you're officially retired, that maybe you consider coming back. Because you did a fantastic job. So thank you, sir.
This is not a goodbye. He's got 5
No,
more months.
it's not. He's got 5 more months. But, I figure with all the election news, I did want to mention that. So thank you, Doug, for filling in. We are going to miss you. The last thing I do want to say, though, is that there are some candidates. And one of the things that takes some cojones to do, whether you're male or female, it is to put your name on the ballot. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of effort to do that. Mike's here. Mike Rapogi is one of our candidates that's running for Austintown Township Trustee. I just want to, first of all, thank the individuals who decided to run for office. For one, caring enough about your community to want to run, because it does take a special individual to do kind of what we do, because we take it on the chin quite a bit. If you listen to certain talk radio shows, you'll understand that one of them really doesn't like me, but I'm okay with that because I've been hated by worse and been liked by a lot better, so it's okay. But I just want to wish all the candidates that are running for Township Trustee. There is no doubt in my mind that Austintown has the best fiscal officer it has ever had, so if you're crazy if you don't re-elect that one over there.
Is that a great political announcement?
I don't think so, but if it has to be, it will. And then, of course, to the members that are running for school board. I just want to wish everybody good luck. Let's hope that it is a good race. And as Ken and I always preach, on election day, get out and vote. That is our voice when we have to go and talk to ODOT, or when we have to talk to the state representatives or the county commissioners or engineers, when we can say that we had a huge voter turnout, and if you don't give us the answers we want, then we're going to turn those voters against you. It's you, the voters, that do that. So please, make sure on election day you vote. That's all I got.
Douglas? I was going to say I've got nothing, but I certainly have enjoyed my time working. I'm not leaving yet with these guys, but it has been a lot of fun and extremely, it's been great for me to have this experience with these guys, because I've known them both. I've known everybody here for a long time, but you work with them in a different aspect than, as a school employee. But it has been a great year. Remember when you brought me on, I said this wasn't on my bucket list here, but 18 months I would do that, and I certainly down the road, when I feel this job, and Ken does a great job, Jim does a great job, but Jim will tell you, it's a very consuming job, and it's just not something you can always just do and maintain other full-time employment, because it's tough to do, it's hard to do. And my feeling is you have to put 100% into a situation. So when I retire, I will come back. I will see what goes on and maybe get my feet back into the political ring. But it has been really great working with Lori. She's been outstanding. Any questions you ever have, she has the answer, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate all the support I've had over the last year or so, and all those who were willing to jump in and work on a campaign. But at this point in time, I have some other fish I have to fry first, and then when I retire, I may be back. But thank all of you for your support from that standpoint. Just a couple other things. I did go as chief. In case you haven't noticed, Chief Gavinier does not like to speak in public. He did give Jeff Solick a nice speech the other night at his retirement party. Jeff did not want to retire, however, he had to retire based on his illness. So we certainly will be missing a great void not having him. And when you hear how his coworkers talk about him, he's very admired and very a great mentor and trainer for people. And he's like that dog that goes in there after the drugs when people can't find it, he finds things. And again, he's a good friend and a great policeman. We won't miss him. I'd also like to congratulate Dave Capizzulo for becoming the first, the next superintendent of Austintown Schools. Wish him well. School will be starting, so be ready for the buses. I'd like to wish the students and staff good luck as they get ready to start here shortly, and all of the athletic teams in the fall. And thank Todd for the Austintown Night Out and everyone who worked that. That was a very nice event last week. And we got the farmer's market in Rainwood. Farmer's market is open every Monday, 5 to 8. Rain or shine, if you want to go out to the park and see it. There's a lot of good vendors there. But thank you all. Appreciate your support.
Yeah, if I may, I'll continue with the school system. It is an unbelievable school year. I was a teacher there for the longest time. If I was going there now, I'd get just a little worried. They end up with 15 individuals, leaders of the school, have just been brought in for a school system that's going to start in a few weeks. And as I said, we congratulate Dave Capizello, and we wish him the very best of luck and everybody with him. Let's carry it a little further. We also wish good luck to the football team, because let me tell you something, if you want to pass a levy, you better have a winning football team. That's all. Thank you. The school system is starting. Please watch that. There was something I didn't talk about last time, and I'm going to talk about it real as fast as I can. Austintown is a veterans town, absolutely a veterans town. We have people like the two gentlemen over here, but we have leaders all over. We have all kinds of organizations, we have all kinds of honors to them and so on. For those of us who never had to serve, I bow to all of them, because I never had to leave my family or anyone else to go fight for my country. They fought for me. But the last time I was pleased to be the MC at another ceremony. All of our veteran guys come up with something, but these two, Leo Conley and Ken Jacobin, I think they sleep and wake up with something new. A lot of them are responsible for the flags and things we have here. They changed over where Quaker Steak is, they changed the road to Patriot Boulevard and that sort of thing. So they did so many things. But Quaker Steak, here's an organization that came here 13 years ago. 13 years ago. The lady who runs that, father, was one of those. At one time, they had about 40 owners, and as they bought each other out, there's only 2 now. But they were going to go do some things, and all of a sudden, they all sat down. If you go over there at Quaker State, that beautiful flag system they have that represents each of our branches of the military, and the sign that welcomes you. But they had to get benches. So what did these gentlemen do? They went out and got people, actually it was really one of the families, and they had benches there that were in honor. They're memorials to those people from the Austintown area that gave the ultimate sacrifice, their lives in protecting us. And the ceremony was absolutely beautiful, as all our ceremonies are when we deal with the veterans here. It was 2nd Lieutenant John Terlecki, the Army in World War II. Corpsman David Esselbaum, United States Navy veteran, Mrs. Kennedy's brother, she was the one who literally purchased most of those benches. 2nd Lieutenant Charles W. Brown, United States Army, Vietnam. Sergeant James Promisberger, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam. Sergeant Robert Carr, United States Army, Iraq. and Warrant Officer Donald W. Clark, United States Army in Iraq. But on behalf of the people in Austintown, I thank Quaker State for their support and everything else. I thank all of the leaders like Ken Jack Beck and Leo Conley and Tony and Sam Smart over here. Everyone does so much for the people here. And I thank them, and I can't say enough about the system. Okay, now we go to, if I find my sheet, we're going to, I need a motion, please. Move to recess to executive session for the following to consider the appointment, employment, discipline, or compensation of public employees.
So moved.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
If you
in association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.